Hello and welcome to Sunday's football review, where a lot of big showdowns were taking place. From the Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton, the first Merseyside derby at Hale Dickinson Stadium, to the most anticipated match in the Premier League title race between Man City and Arsenal. We will also look at what happened in the Bundesliga in Bayern's title deciding match and an important game for PSG to lead the table as they face Lyon. Let's analyze what went down each of these games together. Full-time score at the Etihad Stadium between Man City and Arsenal. Man City 2, Arsenal 1, as Haaland's heroics swing title race in Guardiola's favour. Man City won a titanic tussle with the Premier League title rivals Arsenal, moving within 3 points of the summit with the game in hand. Erling Haaland was a hero as Man City struck a huge blow in the Premier League title race by battling to a 2-1 win over rivals Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. Pep Guardiola's men knew a victory was required to put the destiny of the title tussle in their own hands. And they did that exactly. Though it was a nervy victory, as Arsenal struck the post either side of Haaland's 65-minute winner, though Eberechi Eze and Gabriel Magalhaes, while Kai Havertz missing a huge chance later on. City looked the more enterprising side in the early stages, as Arsenal had already had two big left-offs by the time they went ahead in the 16th minute. David Raya almost had the ball taken off his toes by Haaland, while Gabriel deflected Ryan Cherki's shot onto the post. Cherki's next involvement resulted in a breakthrough though, as he danced around Gabriel before slotting into the far corner, but Arsenal were gifted an equalizer 2 minutes later. Gianluigi Donnarumma took longer after receiving a throw-in from Matheus Nunes, and Havertz diverted his clearance into the net. Chances were then at the premium until Haaland clipped the outside of the post early in the second half, before City hearts were in mouths on 2 occasions. Donnarumma atoned for his earlier mistake with a massive 1v1 save to deny Havertz. Then Eze's drive bounced to safety off the inside of the upright. City retook the lead when two of their most influential players on the day, Jeremy Doku and Nico Riley, combined on the left-hand side, with the latter's passing squirming to Haaland, who finished on the side. Arsenal hit the post again through Gabriel's header via a deflection of O'Reilly, and the Brazilian was arguably fortunate to escape with only a booking when he thrust his head into that old foe Haaland. Mikel Arteta's team had one last opportunity to snatch a point, but Havertz headed over in stoppage time, meaning City will now usurp at the top if they win the game in hand against Burnley on Wednesday. Arsenal have now lost 4 consecutive games in the domestic league and cup competitions for the very first time under Arteta, and for the first time overall since March 2018. That run, like this one, also included 2 defeats to City, whose title hopes have now been boosted to 27%, according to the Opta supercomputer. Guardiola is truly a master of his fixtures, as throughout his managerial career, he has led his teams to 7 wins from 8 games when facing the league leaders while sitting second on the table. 4 of those victories have come in the Premier League, the joint most any manager boasts in the competition, which is level with Alex Ferguson. City had to ride their luck at times, with Arsenal hitting the woodwork twice in a game they failed to win for the first time since April 2022, while the Gunners narrowly edged the expected goals by 1.53 to 1.41. But Haaland's heroics settled the day, as he became only the second player to score in 4 consecutive Premier League games against Arteta's Arsenal, after Liverpool's Diogo Jota between September 2020 and March 2022. Full-time score at the Etihad, and an important fixture for the title race, Man City 2, Arsenal 1. And now we move to the Merseyside, the anticipated Merseyside derby. For the first time in Hill Dickinson Stadium between Everton and Liverpool, ended with a Liverpool victory. Liverpool 2 away win against Everton 1. As Van Dijk strikes in 100th minute to decide Merseyside derby. Virgil van Dijk scored the winning goal 10 minutes into the stoppage time as Liverpool beat Everton 2-1 in the Merseyside derby at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It looked as though Sunday's game, which was disrupted by a major injury for each side as Georgia Mamadashvili and Jared Branthwaite were carried off, would peter out to a draw. But Van Dijk stunned the home fans into silence with his last gasp header from Dominic Szoboszlai's corner, which lifted Liverpool 7 points clear of those outside the top 5. Everton's players were welcomed to Hill Dickinson Stadium by swathes of supporters lining up streets, and they almost dialed up the atmosphere in the 6th minute as Beto's header was clawed away by Mamadashvili. Iliman Ndiaye then had a goal disallowed due to Jacob Ryan being offside in the build-up, and only 66 seconds after the restart, the stadium's first derby goal was scored at the other end. Cody Gakpo intercepted a loose pass from Dwight McNeil before sliding into Mohamed Salah, who struck first time past Jordan Pickford. Everton drew level 9 minutes into the second half, with Kieran Drisbury Hall outfoxing Ibrahima Konate before putting in a plate for Beto. Mamadashvili had to be carried off after the goal to be replaced by third-choice goalkeeper Freddie Woodman, while Everton saw Beto sustain a head injury and Branthwaite go off in tears with an apparent hamstring injury. Those injuries disrupted the flow of the game and led to 11 added minutes, and with time almost up, Van Dijk powered Szoboszlai's corner home to put an 8-point buffer between the teams. Liverpool were far from their best here, having 14 shots and accumulating 1.45 expected goals, though much of that latter figure came from Salah's opener. Everton had 10 shots with an XG value of 0.8. But two of Everton's old tormentors provided the derby heroics yet again. In his final Merseyside derby, Salah drew level with Steven Gerrard as the joint leading scorer in the fixture's Premier League history with 9 goals. He also equaled Andy Cole for the fifth most away goals scored in Premier League history with 83. Only Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Alan Shearer and Frank Lampard have scored more. And Van Dijk's goal, scored after 99 minutes and 53 seconds, was the third latest winning goal on record in the Premier League after Chelsea vs Man United in April 2024 and Newcastle United against Leeds United in January 2026. Once again full-time score at the Merseyside derby, Everton 1, Liverpool 2. And now we move to the Villa Park in a thrilling game between Aston Villa and Sunderland. Aston Villa 4, Sunderland 3, as last gasp Abraham header settles Villa Park thriller. Ollie Watkins scored 2 and assisted against another against Sunderland, but Aston Villa needed heroics from Tammy Abraham later on. Tammy Abraham's 93rd minute finish settled the thrilling contest as Aston Villa snatched a 4-3 win over Sunderland, having earlier thrown away a 2-goal lead later on. Abrams flicked Lucas Digne across past Robin Reeves to move Unai Emery's side 10 points clear of the 6th place Chelsea and to boost their Champions League qualification hopes. But it should have been far more routine for Villa. Ollie Watkins needed just 98 seconds to open the scoring, nodding home after Matty cashed free John McGinn to lob a cross towards the far post. Chris Rigg levelled with 9 minutes on the clock, firing emphatically to the left-hand corner for his first Premier League goal after Noah Sadiki touched back Nordi Mukiele's right-sided delivery. Amadou Onana headed against the crossbar after Roofs looked nervy when dealing with McGinn's corner, but Watkins restored Villa's lead 9 minutes before halftime. Morgan Rogers cutely offloaded for Ian Matson to make the byline and fire across the 6-yard area for the England striker to head an empty net. McGinn's fight out of possession created Villa's third in the 46th minute, with the midfielder releasing Ross Barkley before he found Watkins, who teed up Rodgers to drive past Wolves with the help of the post. Troy Hume started the Sunderland comeback with 4 minutes remaining, picking Jadon Sancho's pocket before curling it to the top right corner from the tight angle. And just 58 seconds later, Wilson Isidore leveled after Enzo Lefebvre cut open the Villa defense for the French striker to slide past Emiliano Martinez, who then denied Habib Diarra when one-on-one soon after. Having seen Diarra inexplicably try and dink over Martinez, Villa punished the attempted finish down the other end when Digne delivered from the left for Abraham to get the vital touch and snatch the vital win. Full-time score once again in the Villa Park, Aston Villa 4, Sunderland 3. And now we move to the Bundesliga as Bayern Munich faced against Stuttgart in the title-deciding game, which ended Bayern Munich 4, Stuttgart 2, as Kompany's side sealed Bundesliga title with 4 games to spare. Vincent Kompany and his Bayern Munich team will be celebrating another Bundesliga title after Sunday's thrashing of Stuttgart. Vincent Kompany's side successfully defended their crown after moving in an assailable 15 points clear of second-place Borussia Dortmund, who lost 2-1 to Hoffenheim on Saturday. Stuttgart looked the more dangerous side early on before Bilal El Khanous teed up Chris Fuchrich, who side-footed past Jonas Urbeg with 21 minutes on the clock. That concession seemed to click Bayern into gear as Jamal Musiala danced around 2 defenders and later on a plate for Rafael Guerreiro to level just 10 minutes later. And Bayern needed just 2 further minutes to take the lead as Guerreiro freed Luis Diaz to set up another routine tap-in for Nicholas Jackson, who was in for Harry Kane as Kompany rotated his side heavily. The host surged out of sight in the 37th minute when Diaz cut back for Alphonso Davies to curl an inventive left-foot finish with his outside of his boot past Alexander Nubel. Halftime substitute Kane added a further gloss after Nubel pushed Leon Goretzka's attempt into his path, but the Stuttgart goalkeeper brilliantly denied Bayern's midfielder again soon after. El Khanous kept Urbig alert following a rapid counter-attack before Atakan Karazor found Shema Andres to volley home for an 88th minute consolation that could stop the Champions League celebrations. Securing the championship with 4 games to spare, this ranks as the 5th quickest Bundesliga title win in history, with Bayern accounting for 3 of those. Indeed, Bayern claimed the 2013-14 crown with 7 matches remaining, the earliest title win in the competition's history. But winning this one in April shows just what a class above Kompany's side have been. They have netted 109 league goals so far, already setting up a new top-flight record with last win's 5-0 win over St. Pauli, in a true demolition of their domestic competition. Kompany's next challenge may be equaling the Bundesliga points record, needing to win the final 4 matches to match Jupp Heynck's Bayern when they collected 91 points in the 2012-2013 campaign. The Belgian manager also reached 50 wins in the 64 Premier League games here, with only Pep Guardiola managing this milestone sooner, which is 61st game in Bundesliga history. Full-time score once again, Bayern Munich 4, Stuttgart 2, Bayern Munich are the champions of Bundesliga. And now we move to the Ligue 1 fixture between Paris Saint-Germain and Lyon in Parc des Princes, which ended PSG 1, Lyon 2, as Enrique and Moreira stand Ligue 1 leaders. Lyon did their Champions League qualification hopes the world of good, with a 2-1 victory over PSG moving them up to 3rd. Enrique and Alfonso Moreira scored quick-fire goals in the first half to secure Lyon a 2-1 win over Ligue 1 leaders Paris Saint-Germain. Lyon boosted their hopes of Champions League qualification with a victory, while PSG, who pulled one back later on through Vichy Kvaratskhelia, stayed just 1 point clear of Lens on the top. It took just 6 minutes for Lyon to break the deadlock, with Moreira slotting a lovely pass through to Endrick, who took his shot quickly and beat Matveis found Safonov at his near post. Abner Vinicius then saw an overhead kick tipped over the bar by Safonov, but the goalkeeper could do nothing about Moreira's 18th minute effort from just inside the box. Ainsley Maitland-Niles then made a goal-saving block to deny Brady Barcola, but the English midfielder was penalized for a barge on Lucas Hernandez shortly after the half-hour mark. When Goncalo Ramos stepped up to the spot, Dominic Grief made a good stop. Ramos then blazed over the crossbar on the stroke of halftime with PSG, and PSG picked up where they left off in the second half, without testing Grief. Substitute Ousmane Dembele rattled the crossbar with a fierce effort, and though Kvaratskhelia curled a stunning long-range shot in the far post in the 94th minute, it was too late for PSG to salvage anything. Endrick has been given a new lease of life since joining Lyon on loan from Real Madrid, and he played a key role in getting one over PSG at Parc des Princes. Only Yamal has been involved in more goals than Endrick amongst players under 20 years old in Europe's top 5 Premier League games in Europe's top 5 leagues in 2026. PSG did not help themselves though, and will certainly rue that missed first half penalty. No team has missed more penalties than them, which is 6 out of 12 across the top 5 leagues, and they will feel hard done by. They created 2.88 expected goals from 23 shots, with 6 of those were on target, while Lyon were clinical, produced a 0.7 xG from 5 efforts, all of which were on target. Full-time score, PSG 1, Lyon 2. Which concludes this weekend's football review. Amazing actions all over, but we're not done yet, as there will be another Premier League exciting fixtures, which includes City's game in hand against Burnley away. We'll see you then, but until then, take care and good night.